Aloha from Hawaii, and to my Islamic friends out there, Assalamu alaikum. I've been doing some videos recently about Islam. I did a video, the first video I did was on a hadith, and the hadith it's a saying, it's not in the Quran, and some people say it's not really an authentic saying, but the hadith is, I was a hidden treasure and I desired to be known. And I did it a few days ago, and it's gotten more views than any other video I've ever done. So I mean, in that amount of days actually. So I'm curious about that, and I wanted to continue to talk about it. And first of all, and then I did a video about Ibn Arabi, who I think was one of the great mystics or great Sufis of the Islamic tradition, and he's controversial, but let's just point out that he talks about this saying, right? He thinks that this saying is authentic, and other Sufis do. So that's why I think there might be grounds to think that this saying is authentic, because some of the Sufis have gone on at great lengths about this particular quote-unquote hadith, if it really is, right? I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm not making a case either way, and I don't really have an investment if it is or it isn't. I've always liked the saying because I see something in it that seems to be suggesting something that is very profound, and maybe profound about God, and also profound about all of us and everything. You know, we all, on some level, we all are hidden treasures that desire to be known on some level or another. And I would say that all of us want to be seen as our true self. Not all of us can even see ourselves that way. We can't see ourselves as our true self. We're not in touch with that. And I would say that our true self is our loving self, our self, which is resides or abides in that place of love. And I did the video I did on Ibn Arabi was to say that Ibn Arabi seems to have been very much in touch with deep mystical truth, and mystic truth that has been expressed in different ways throughout human history. Some might call it the perennial philosophy, meaning it's not just an Islamic thing or a Sufi thing, but it's all across the board. And great spirits, great minds have come to the same thing over the course of over the ages. Great minds have come to these things, and I want to. My next video, I'm going to do another video about Ibn Arabi, and I'm going to get into the nuances and show how it's similar, but also how it's also not exactly the same, but it's very similar. So, but today, what I wanted to talk about is the mystical. What is mysticism, right? And how does it relate to religion? And how does it relate to spirituality? And some people, obviously, that we make this dichotomy or distinction between religion and spirituality. If I could put it into very, very concise terms, I would say religion is what people tell you about God, and spirituality is what you yourself experience in regard to the divine or God, right? So spirituality, and especially mysticism, is all about experience. It's all about your own direct experience. And religion in general has been at odds with spirituality and definitely mysticism because of this idea that who are you to think that you can experience God, and you need to rely on authentic teachings, on authentic sources, and not just on your own experience.
which you may misinterpret, you may not understand. So you had an experience. So what, right? Or so you, but if you have a tradition and you have authentic masters, then that would, religion says that's what you need to follow. Is you need to follow the doctrine or the dogma and the doctrine of religion, whereas spirituality says, well, that's fine and dandy, and you can go by that to some extent, but ultimately it comes down to your own experience. And if you don't experience it yourself, how do you really know, right? How can you know something without experiencing it for yourself? Why would you just rely on what other people tell you? So this gets to the tension between religion and mysticism. And let's also say that mystical traditions are in all of the religions. Now, that is a statement which maybe some would argue with, but for example, in Islam we have Sufism. Christianity, we have the Christian mystics, different types of Christian mystics. In Judaism, we have Kabbalah and other Jewish mysticism. Those are the three Abrahamic faiths, so-called Abrahamic faith. But obviously, in other traditions too, we have these mystical traditions, and you might say that there's terms that we can use. There's the exoteric form of religion, and there's the esoteric. Right? The esoteric is getting under the surface and going to the deeper truths that come from direct experience, whereas exoteric tends to be the forms of religion, and the forms of the different religions make them seem quite different on the surface, right? But if you look at the mystics and the mystical traditions, the mystics end up looking very very much the same, very similar. I wouldn't say the same, but very, very similar. Obviously, they have different language. The mystics live at different different time periods. They have different language. They have different cultural experience. They have all these different things. But a lot of them, like Ibn Arabi, end up sounding very much like the mystics of other traditions. And I noted how Ibn Arabi says, for example, that only God is real, and God is the only reality, and the world is unreal, or something like that, right? And that's exactly what I don't want to say exactly. I forget what I just said. Very similar, at least, to what Shankara said in the Hindu tradition, like in the 6th century or the 8th century, whatever it was. He said something different. Said something very similar to what Ibn Arabi said. And I also am relating it to A Course in Miracles, which is a modern scripture that came in the last 50 years that seems to suggest something very similar and is very similar to what Ibn Arabi is saying. So my point in this little talk here is, and I want to ask you as well, those of you who are listening, is what is your take? Do you tend to see mysticism as something too out there, or do you think that mysticism and the mystical traditions like Sufism, Kabbalah, etc., are really more of the heart of the religion, getting to more of the heart of spirituality and the heart of understanding the divine, or understanding God, or understanding reality? Let's say understanding reality. So, how do you feel? What is your take? Do you think Ibn Arabi, if you're a Muslim, do you think that Ibn Arabi was outside of the pale of the religion? Was he too out there, or do you see him as authentic, or do you see him even more than that? Do you see him as one of the greatest masters, which he has the name, the great master, right? He's considered to be one of the great masters of the Islamic tradition. So I'm just gonna end the video there with that thought, and see what you have to say about all of this. And anyway, as I said before, thanks for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum to you who out there who are listening, who have been following some of my recent videos, and I want to pay respect to Islam and Sufism, and I and respect to all the religions and all the faiths, all the true faiths, let's say, because there is, people can go astray with all of these things, right? But anyway, thanks for tuning in, and love to hear from you. See you soon. Bye-bye.